we're continuing with Heal Your Body. And what I decided to do was pick out 3 related parts of the body that have to do with balance. So really, what we're working with is, I'm going to give you the part of the cause, the metaphysical cause, and then we'll be working through the affirmations today. But we're working with balance, and so with that, we're working with the idea of being centered. And then we know that vertigo, for example, deals with inner ear issues. So we're dealing with the ear, particularly with earache, which has to do with external, the external ear, the ear canal, the inner ear, as well as the loss of balance itself, which is related to scattered thinking and not being centered. The earache is related to anger and not wanting to hear, having too much turmoil. And then dizziness, vertigo, has to do with flighty, scattered thinking and a refusal to look. So those are the underlying issues sometimes that we're dealing with in those parts of our minds and then therefore our bodies. So that's what we're working with today. And that means we're probably going to do a lot of things that have to do with getting the mind quiet, to unscatter the mind, and then to also feel a sense of balance in the mind, but also in the physical body. So we'll probably do some balancing today too. So I think that's a good intro to what we'll do. So let's start in seated today, sitting up nice and tall. And feel the spine get a little bit longer as you send the crown of the head up. And then let it straighten up a little bit. So notice the chin, it might be forward a little bit, draw the chin in slightly. Maybe even quite a bit so that you can experience that full length, and then just gently relax the neck so we aren't tightening up. The hands can be resting on the knees or they can be folded into each other. The hands are resting. You can have palms up or down. But there's a feeling behind that position, so experience that feeling. With the palms down, there's a grounding sensation. With the palms up, there's a lifting up sensation, an uplifting sensation. And then let's begin to soften the eyelids. Letting the breath just gently move in and out of the body. Eyelids softening a little bit more. The scalp now releasing and softening. The muscles in the face softening. The cheeks releasing, the temples relaxing. The jaw relaxing and getting heavier and yet lighter at the same time. Now let's go to the ears and relax the lobes of the ears, relaxing the top of the ears, the bottoms, behind the ears, and then the whole external ear, relaxing that. Now going inwardly, to the inner channels of the ears, so traveling from the external, moving internally, and becoming aware of this region, fully concentrated on it, sensing the inner ears from the external to the internal. Allow this region to relax. Now we're going to start to cultivate the breath and begin to move the body. So let's take a breath in through the nose. Release out through the mouth and just let go completely. All the way out. Let's take this a few more times. So inhaling and filling through the nostrils, feeling the belly, rib cage, chest expand. Exhaling out through the mouth, releasing through the chest, the rib cage, and then the belly. So continuing like this a few more times. And now we're going to shift into Ujjayi Pranayama, so breathing in through the nose this time. Fogging out through the mouth, then fogging in through the mouth. Closing the mouth, exhaling through the nostrils. And keeping that texture in the throat. Inhaling the same way. And exhaling. So let's be sure to take these complete breaths through our practice today so that we feel the expansion of the trunk on the inhalation, that wave-like motion from belly to chest. And then on the exhalation, we feel it drawing back in, the trunk, chest, the rib cage, and the belly drawing back in. Now we're going to start moving the body by first taking the legs out to a V formation. So if you need to reposition yourself on the mat, feel free. But we want to let the legs out to the sides. Maybe you're going to have props around, so just check in and see. And in the first portion of our practice, we're going to relax into this, and then we're going to flow a little bit. So let's check in with the feet first. Have the hands down next to the hips and prop the trunk up. And then just start to move through the feet. So we can take circles with the feet. We can flex and point. When you're flexing, make sure that you really pick up the heel as much as you can from the floor, and then pointing and drawing the toes towards the floor. Just a little bit more. And then we're going to be folding. So you can, if you'd like, to sit on something if you're having a lot of tightness in the back of the legs. But we're going to just start to fold, and we'll allow the back to round. And so having something underneath, so at some point you can let the head release and relax, and you can allow the knees to bend if they're feeling there's a lot of tension in the back of the legs. Let the knees bend, but just put effort in the ankles so that you're flexing the feet. And then now just releasing and relaxing into this. And in the beginning, of course, it's going to feel a lot harder to relax into this because maybe we haven't moved the body that much quite yet today, and we haven't moved the body much in our practice. But now we're just going to focus on the fact that this trunk is centered between the legs. Right? The legs are outward, and so we're creating the symmetry with the body. And the trunk is central. And with every exhalation, we're just allowing the trunk to release into this a little bit more. So we're going to really help the mind for a moment. So noticing where our thoughts are, noticing if thoughts are coming and going, or if the thoughts are fairly related to each other, or if maybe we're really thinking of just one thing, which is folding over and releasing the trunk and feeling the sensations in the back of the legs, and really just being in the body. And that's really a good way to help the mind release extra thoughts that aren't relevant, is just focusing on this body and focusing on everything that's relevant to this body in this moment. So we're going to bring the first affirmation in to counter scattered thinking, to counter feeling not centered. And then we'll repeat this to ourselves. Maybe we'll start verbally, and then we'll let it eventually become a mental repetition. I center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. I center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. I center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. I center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. We'll be here for one more minute, still repeating the mantra or the affirmation. I center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. So that was our minute. Let's see how things have changed in the body. And we're going to start to come up halfway. and walk over to one leg. I always feel like not walking to one leg really doesn't do this posture justice. So walk to one leg and just get a little closer to it. We'll repeat the affirmation in our minds 3 times while we're closer to one leg. I center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. And then we'll walk over to the other side. Once you get situated, and again 3 times repeating the affirmation. Center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. And we'll start to come up halfway. Once you've completed those affirmations. And coming into center, start to walk one hand forward and then the other, kind of like you're climbing a wall, right? So really stretching one arm forward and as if you're coming into a bit of a side bend, but sending the hand forward and then the other. So as you're doing this, you're feeling right underneath the arm and into the back. You're feeling a nice stretch there. Going through one at a time. And then releasing in and sending the hands far forward. Maybe let the head go. Can hang loose all the way and feel a bit of a stretch in the back of the neck. And let's start to rise up. So when you're ready, begin to send the hands closer. We'll take the hands back. You can keep the legs as they are, and then just send the chest upwards, send the shoulders back, let the head come back slightly. And then we'll bring the hands back to neutral. Cross the ankles now. So after that, you're going to need a little assistance. The hands. Once you can cross the ankles, see if you can send the knees down. Maybe use the hands to push the knees down. Maybe bring a foot in front of the shin and press the knees down and just rock a little bit, going forward and going back into the sitting bones, pressing forward and back into the sitting bones. And then we're going to sit upright for a moment. We're going to move through Camel posture here in the Kundalini style. So we'll have hands come to you can either have a foot on top of foot and hold that top foot, or you can have it in front, but either way, grab a hold of shin or shin and foot. And then on the next inhalation, take the shoulders back, send the heart forward, bring the head back. On the exhale, round the shoulders, pull the belly in, send the head down. So very much like cat-cow, but we're doing this from seated. Inhaling, and we have the tension of the hands here, the arms. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. So this can kind of feel like it's loosening up and kind of shaking out tension from the chest and the upper back as we contract. And then we lengthen. Inhaling. Exhaling. Now we're going to work just one more time here with the same affirmation. As we're moving through, I center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. I center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. So a few more of these, but put a little bit more effort in pulling the belly in and feeling the abdominal muscles really engage as you're exhaling, the bottom of the exhale. And let's come to neutral spine. Inhale, reach the arms upwards. We're going to seal this affirmation, bringing palms together, thumbs in towards the heart center. Let's actually seal the affirmation by repeating it to ourselves one more time. Center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. And then we're going to chant Om, breathing in through the nose. Now we'll come to hands and knees. And from here, we're bringing forearms down to the mat. So forearms come down, shoulders are over the elbows. And then on the next inhalation, lift the right leg behind. And we'll actually lift the foot off the ground and then press through the right heel. So we have forearms down. Now roll the shoulders forward. So it's like you're rounding the shoulders. And then squeeze the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders forward. The heart will lift, the upper back will lift, and then sink as you squeeze the shoulders back. Keep the right leg lifted. I'm just going to take about 3 more deep breaths as we're here. Moving with the shoulders. And then we're going to switch sides. So we'll have the nice firm arms here as we bring right knee down, and then inhale, lift the left leg behind, press through the heel. And then again, we're going to roll the shoulders forward and then squeeze the shoulders back. A few more times. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and bring the knees down. Now we're going to rest for a moment in child's posture, where we're going to introduce the next affirmation, and then we're going to take it into the next posture. So bring the hips down to the heels, lower the head. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe arms are resting or maybe they're extended. Just let the head be resting on something so you can relax the neck. So now we're going to work specifically with the ear in this next affirmation. The external and inner ear. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. So hearing these words, reciting these words, and really feeling these words as much as you possibly can, knowing that these words come from a deep place and there's truth in them, even if maybe sometimes it doesn't rationally seem like it could be true. It's important to go beyond that. So harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. Now we're going to take this with us into a dolphin posture. So let's clear the breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and rise up. Come back to the forearms. This is, I find, very challenging. It's very demanding on the chest and on the shoulders. We're going to come back to the forearms. Come back to the forearms, and let's actually interlace the fingers. It's a little easier this way. Interlace the fingers so we have these really strong hands intertwined with one another. And then we're going to roll over the toes like you're coming into a downward facing dog and lift the hips. And then from here, you can let the head go. And what we'll do is you have a couple options. You can be right here and keep the head lifted, or you can rest the crown of the head on the mat, nestle the back of the head to the hands, and then you can be here a little longer. It's a little easier to support yourself. Now, while we're upside down, we're going to come back into the mantra, the affirmation. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. Maybe you can recite the whole thing in your mind, or maybe you just take one phrase and stick with it. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. Now we're going to lower down and relax. Then we're going to set that posture up again and then move through that affirmation one more time. So clear a breath. You're in child's posture, relaxing. Maybe sigh out through the mouth. And let's come back to forearms. You can interlace the fingers, or another option, a little bit more difficult, is to have the hands line up with the elbows. Then you'll roll over the toes and lift the hips back up. And then again, here you are, breathing deeply, pulling the belly in. If you can, and if you have the hands interlaced, you might start to walk the toes
inward a little bit so that you get less and less weight off of the feet, maybe rising up to the tippy toes. Now we'll come back to the affirmation. Harmony surrounds me. Two more breaths. And lower. Release all the way into child's posture, letting go completely. Coming back to the affirmation, harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. Couple deep breaths. Okay, now we're going to rise. It felt really good actually to open the chest after that. So there's a lot of contraction there in the chest. So when you rise, maybe you come up to the heels or standing on the knees, take the hands behind, interlace the fingers, and then just squeeze the shoulders back. Let the head come back. And then relax. Come down to hands and knees. We're going to continue one more segment with that affirmation, and then we're going to move on. So focusing again on the external and internal ear, we'll take a side plank. We'll start by first kicking the left foot to the left side, extending the right foot to the back of the mat, then bringing the right arm up to the sky. So this is our modified version. If you feel like you can go into a fuller side plank, you'll extend the left leg as well, and then you're on the left edges of both feet. Or if you have the knee down, you can lift the right leg up. But either way, find a sense of challenge. We have the ears kind of vertical at this point. We're going to come back and consider this mantra and let it fill your mind. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. Harmony surrounds me. Listen with love, the pleasant and the good. Center for love. Exhale. We'll come to the other side. Right hand comes down. You might start with knees down. Kick the right foot to the right. Extend the left leg to the back of the mat. Left arm reaches up. And then finding your expression of this posture. And coming back as the ears are vertical. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. One more breath. Exhale, bring the hands down. Let's stretch the wrists for a moment before we go further. So with the hands down, we can flip the fingers to face back on both hands. And then maybe send the hips back and forward, just finding a rocking motion. If you are ready for more intensity, send the hips back. We'll take 3 deep breaths. And then we'll bring the hands to center. Let's take the hands off the mat for a moment. Just take some circles. You can close the fists and circle, or you can spread the fingers. Go through just a couple breaths here. I'm ready to come to some standing postures. So let's go ahead and bring the hands down and roll over the toes. Come into downward facing dog. Sending the heart towards the thighs, rolling the thighs inwardly, keeping the feet planted, but there's this interior motion of the legs. You're rolling the thighs inward. And you're rolling the shoulders inward. You're pressing away from the hands, fingers spread wide. Next inhalation, lift the right leg up towards the sky. And then we'll exhale, bring the right foot down. On the inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach the right leg back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, lower. Go through that one more time, both sides. And now we'll look forward and float both of the feet forward. Come to the top of the mat, right into a forward fold. The feet can be hips distance apart or wider. While we're folded, we're going to pull the low belly up and also the pelvic floor. So pulling both of these up. Toning these interior muscles here as we're kind of half upside down. Feel the inner channels of the ears opening. Letting yourself feel that harmony in that physical space, in the heart space, in the mental space. And then we're going to start to rise up. You can unroll the spine or you can rise with a flat back. Let's seal the last affirmation we were working with. So reach the arms upwards and then bring the palms together. Draw them in towards the heart center. Repeating in our minds again or listening to the words. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. We'll seal that with Om. Breath in. Om. Okay, we're going to step the left foot to the back of the mat, bring the arms to a T. Let's find our way to extended triangle posture. So arms come to a T and pivot the right toes to face forward. The left toes will face the side of the mat. Before we go into extended triangle posture, let's go into a warrior B. So sink into the right knee and then straighten the right leg. So we're going to move in and out of this. Sink into the right knee and then straighten the right leg, excuse me. So just a couple more. And then we'll have the right leg straight. From here, we'll reach out with the right arm, lower down to the right leg, Inhale, lift the left arm upwards. And then look down at the right foot for a moment. Now look out to the left and then all the way up past the left thumb. Two more breaths. When the affirmations start to echo in your mind, when you're not even concentrating on them, it's when you know they're really working. So let's look down now at the right foot and then rise up to standing arms to a T. And we'll just switch into the other side. So pivot the left toes to face the back of the mat, right toes face the side of the mat. And a few times lunging into Warrior B and then straightening the left leg. Sinking in and straightening. About 4 more times. And then we're going to have the left leg straight. Reach out with the left arm. Again, extended triangle posture. Left hand comes down to the left leg. Right arm up towards the sky. Look down to the left foot. And then look all the way to the right. And then all the way up past the right thumb. One more breath. Going to look down towards the left foot. Inhale, rise up to standing. Arms come to a T. Reach the arms upwards. Palms together. Thumbs in towards the heart center. And we're going to start to heel toe the feet closer together. And we're going to practice the chair posture today and maybe one other balancing posture. So if you feel like you want some support around you just in case, be close to a chair or be close to a wall or any table surface like that. We're going to start by first making sure that you have not so much cushion underneath the feet because then all those air pockets make it hard to balance. So maybe stepping off the mat. And then we have our feet hips distance apart. We're going to start with palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Now before we go there, we're going to invoke the next affirmation. So this is particularly for the loss of balance. And if the mind is wandering, it is much harder to balance. So this is, in my experience, very true. And our affirmation is, I center myself. Oh, did we do this one? We did do this one. So we're going to actually switch. So what I said is still true, but we're going to go actually to dizziness and vertigo. And we're going to think about that. That's also in scattered thinking mode. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. So now let's get into the posture and then we'll come back to the affirmation. Sink into the knees now. So bending the knees and starting to stick the bottom out. And then lift the heart up. So we have knees bent. We have hips nice and low. Now we're going to switch over and bring the weight all onto the left leg and bring right ankle on top of left thigh. So you might need to straighten the leg a little bit to get the foot there and then sink back in to this chair that you're creating out of your body. Flex the right foot. That activity in the right foot is going to activate the right leg, and then it won't be supported fully with this left leg. So we want that to bear some of its own weight too. So now we're going to lift the heart a little bit more and maybe sink lower and continue. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous.
I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. Keep your eyes still. Keep your mind focused on the affirmation. Keep the right foot flexed. 2 more breaths. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. And let's come out of it. So release, maybe shake the legs out, maybe sway a little bit into the hips. So good lower body strengthener and hip opener at the same time. Now we'll start over with feet hip distance apart and bring the hands together. Sink into the knees. And now what we just were working on with that left leg, it's going to actually stretch. So we'll bring the left ankle on top of the right thigh, flex the left foot, sinking into the hip. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. A couple more breaths. And start to come out of it. Bring hands to hips. Shake the legs about. One more little section of balancing, and then we're going to bring it down again. So we'll have hands to hips, feet hip distance apart. And we're going to be basically taking one knee up. Okay, so feeling firm in the belly and the hip flexors. And then switching legs. So you're going to plant that foot and lift the other at the same time. And we're going to just do this a few more times as we repeat to ourselves. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. So letting this motion and test that balance a little bit and still be able to say to yourself, it is safe for me to be alive and joyous. Going as fast as you'd like. Even with all the motion, feeling peaceful, deeply centered. Just a couple more breaths. And we'll release. Both feet to the mat. Got the heart rate up a little bit. Deeper breaths now. Inhale, reach the arms upwards. Exhale, bring the palms in, thumbs to the heart center, lower the head. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lowering. Couple more. Now this time we'll take a sun salutation. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Nice breath here first. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, hands down, float the feet back. Lower down.
Inhale, find a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the right knee to the right hand, left leg slides back. We're going to find a pigeon to kind of help that hip opening. So now we'll start to release down. And then here we're going to take just about a minute. So really letting the body sink into this. Going to return to this mantra. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. I am deeply centered and peaceful with life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. I am deeply centered and peaceful with life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. Keep the affirmation going, but switch sides now. So you might come right back into downward facing dog, and then we'll take the left leg forward. I am deeply centered and peaceful with life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. Okay, let's start to come out of this side. And we're going to come to seated, sitting up, tall, ankles crossed. Going to take gentle twists from here. So let's just move over to the right, left hand to right knee, right hand behind. Get tall and then press into the fingers to turn. Keep twisting to the right, but now turn the head left and right a couple times. Nice and slow. And then keep turning the head to the right. Inhale, come to center. We'll switch right to the other side. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind, get tall. Turn to the left. Trunk twisting to the left, but now the head turns side to side, nice and slow. And then we'll keep the head turning left. And we'll come to center. Okay, maybe switch the order of the ankles if you'd like to feel a little more even there. Let's work with the neck a little bit. So maybe folding hands into each other, or keeping the hands
on the thighs somewhere. We'll lower the chin down and pick the chin up, lowering it down, picking back up. 2 more. And then we'll bring the head to center, turning the head left, and then right, left, and right. 2 more. And bringing the head to center. Pick up the right ear towards the sky, roll the right shoulder a little bit, and then settle the shoulder down. About 3 breaths. Feel the root of the neck stretching all the way up to the ear. Really focusing on the ear now, going into that ear and all around the external ear. Relaxing that space. Relaxing the brain with it. And then we'll bring the head to center and take the left ear skyward. Move that shoulder around a little bit and then settle it down. Deep breaths. Feeling the root of the neck all the way up to the ear, opening. Freeing these spaces up from any limitations that keep us balanced, centered. And then bring the head to center. Give the head a little motion here, maybe releasing and shaking out or taking some circles. We're going to seal that 3rd affirmation now by bringing the head to center, reaching the arms up, palms together, thumbs in towards the heart center. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. Deep breath in. Om. Now we're going to be resting in Shavasana. So if you feel like there's another posture you really want to take on your way down, feel free. Otherwise, begin to lower to the back and release the body once you've completed whatever else you need to do. And we're finding the body becoming more and more still. Feeling the arms become heavy. Arms away from the trunk. The legs becoming heavy. The legs away from each other. The neck and the head becoming heavy. And finding the body becoming more and more still as you just let the body do the breathing now, the body becoming more and more still. The body becoming more and more still. And the mind reflecting the stillness of the body. The mind reflecting the stillness of the body. I'm going to recite the affirmations in the order that they were practiced today. Find a phrase, just a little phrase that really feels good to you, and just continue to let the mind echo with that phrase until you come to a fuller and deeper rest. I center myself in safety and accept the perfection of my life. All is well. Harmony surrounds me. I listen with love to the pleasant and the good. I am a center for love. I am deeply centered and peaceful in life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. Slowly become aware of that phrase that lulled you into a deeper rest. Begin to come back into the body, becoming aware of the breath, and then deepening it. Bring some awareness to the hands and the feet and start to move them. And then begin to circle the arms behind and find length in the whole body. Feet can come together, lifting the belly button upwards, activating the low back. We'll bring the knees into the chest, arms around the knees. A little swaying side to side. And becoming aware of the ears again, the external parts of the ears, going inwardly to the inner parts of the ears. Feeling these channels really opened, feeling harmony in these spaces, in the physical body, and also then in the heart and the mind, the space of the heart and the mind.
And then when you're ready, start to find your way up to seated to seal this practice today. And bring the palms together. Give ourselves another moment here to reorient to the position of the head in this neutral space. And we'll seal our practice with the sound of Om, breathing in through the nose. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste.